The first thing most raiders learn about the Leaper is to avoid it. Take a different route, choose a longer path, abandon the objective if needed. For a long time, that was the right move. We know things have changed since then, but the Leaper hasn't. The Leaper is a four-legged ark built for one purpose: closing distance with unnerving speed, way before you can react. It patrols open areas, high-risk zones where the valuable objectives lie, where your one and only route back home is. Basically, anywhere that's inconvenient. It has two attacks, both designed for the same result: you exposed with nowhere to go. The first is the leap. It launches from a distance most raiders consistently underestimate: half a football field in a single motion, landing on you or near you with enough force to knock you over, even if it doesn't land directly on top of you. It's accurate, scarily accurate. Sprinting doesn't guarantee safety. Sometimes it tracks midair and arrives anyway. And when it's in the air, there isn't much to do except not be where it expects you to be. The second is the pulse, a close-range shockwave that shreds shields and health in an audible crackling radius around it. This is what it uses once it's already on top of you, when the fight has been a question of who acts first. The crucial question becomes, will you escape, or will it inflict its damage? The pulse answers that question quickly, and usually not in your favor if you aren't careful. Land on you, then pulse. That's the full attack sequence. First the leap that goes the distance, and strike, followed immediately by the pulse at close range. In the open, this happens with such blinding speed that by the time you register the impact of the leap, the pulse is already crackling, ready to detonate. The only reliable counter is a full enclosure. Find a building with a doorway the Leaper can't fit through. Pull its attention away to you with a shot, and fight from inside, denying it the open space it needs to execute its signature leap. It will try to reach you. It'll throw itself at the entrance, contort its body to find impossible angles, and hammer desperate jumps away at the unyielding wall. It can still fire the shockwave from nearby, so don't stand in the doorway, step back beyond the pulse's reach, outside its effective radius. But at least it cannot land on top of you. It can't knock you down and immediately pulse you before you can react. The very element that makes it a terror in the open ground is rendered useless when you force it into a confined space. The Leaper was built for open ground. Take that away, and you're dealing with a much more manageable problem. With you inside and it stuck outside, you've got time to work on the weak spots. The eye is the main one, that pulsating glowing core found at the front. Fire damage applied directly to the eye is where it will take the most damage. Throw a blaze grenade onto it, let the flames consume its sensitive casing, then follow up with heavy ammo, waiting for the burn to subside before applying another searing grenade. A few shots from a heavy ammo weapon will finish it off once that armor's been worn down. The Pharaoh and the Anvil are both good here. They offer heavy ammo, solid arc penetration, and are accurate enough to keep hitting the eye from inside. Your other option are the leg joints. Take out one leg and the Leaper becomes compromised. Movement becomes a jerky, unsteady stagger. It can still leap, but the jump loses its lethal precision and raw force. Take out two legs, and at that point the fight is basically over. It can't execute the mobility that makes it dangerous in the first place. You can just finish it off. Focusing on the eye ends the fight faster. Legs makes the fight safer. If you've managed to funnel it into a doorway, and time isn't a pressing concern, chipping away at its legs is a methodical, controlled way to ensure victory. You can use things like the showstopper grenade to completely immobilize it, leaving it frozen and vulnerable, giving you a clean window to hit either target without retaliation. Explosive mines can be particularly useful, given how easily their predictable charge can be baited with a well-placed distraction. And since it usually just tries to keep fitting into tight spaces that you're in, a couple of heavy fuse grenades thrown right at its feet can easily unleash a devastating impact. Of course, the ultimate incentive to risk confronting such a formidable foe is the promise of valuable loot. The debris field it leaves behind yields mechanical parts, humming arc power cells, flex rubber, motion cores, performance steel, and volatile compounds. The rarest drop, of course, is the Leaper Pulse Unit. Each Leaper drops between 1 and 4 of these coveted units, and crucially they cannot be found anywhere else in the game. Not in containers, not in lockers, not just out in the world. The only source is the Leaper itself. A new raider needs a total of 15 for progression. 4 go to the Utility Station Level 3 upgrade, which unlocks the Photoelectric Cloak, the Snap Hook, and the Tagging Grenade. 1 goes to the Into the Fray quest, and if you want to complete it, 10 for the Trophy Display project. Until you've got those covered, every Pulse unit you find goes straight into that safe pocket. They also sell for 3,000 Raider coins at a vendor, or can be recycled into 3 arc alloy and 1 advanced mechanical component, if you'd rather have the materials themselves. But you probably shouldn't be recycling them until your progression requirements are done. Once you have more than you need though, there's something most players never actually do with them. The Leaper Pulse Unit is a throwable weapon. When you detonate one, it tears open a localized singularity with a 10-meter radius, a swirling vortex that violently pulls everything towards the center, dealing around 100 damage through shields. This works on Arc and on other players equally. In a tight corridor with a squad pushed into cover, the sudden, inescapable pull makes it genuinely difficult to counter. After it dissipates, you can recover it as a cracked, damaged unit that still retains some recycling value, so it's not a complete write-off. Most players never even throw one. Too valuable, too rare. That's a reasonable call. But there are moments, a squad dug into a building, a pack of hornets swarming in a tight space, where using it the way it was designed is the right move. It's a weapon. It often makes more sense as a crafting material, but its potential as a weapon should not be completely ignored. Ultimately, the Leaper remains one of the most dangerous enemies to underestimate. A brutal lesson learned by those who fail to respect its speed and ferocity. It hits fast and it hits hard. The first time it launches across the clearing at you, its closing speed is always surprising. The second time, you know to find a door first. Thank you so much for watching. That's my first enemy documentary guide, and the first time I've brought this format over to Arc Raiders after doing it for 4 different Helldiver stratagems. Hopefully it landed as well as these Leapers do. Actually, wait, they don't land well at all. But let me know what you think in the comments, or even just leave a single emoji. It generally makes a big difference to how the channel grows because YouTube loves engagement above all else. If you want to support the channel directly, there's a Patreon link in the description below, or you can hit the super thanks button right below this video here on YouTube. Either way, I appreciate it. For now though, I think that's it. I'll see you next time. The orbital gas strike operates on a different principle entirely. It doesn't just want to destroy. It wants the enemy to shatter, to dissolve from a unified force into utter disarray. And how they do that? Whether it's the gas itself